Hi, my name is Mike Hatcher. About a year ago, I was teaching in an inner city school, charter school down in San Diego. And the kids, as I could tell, were good kids, but boy, the classroom experience was terrible. In one class, I had a boy fall on the ground 3 times pretending to have an epileptic seizure. Well, he wasn't epileptic at all. And another boy lit something on fire in the classroom. These were a few of 30 things that happened in one day. Since then, I realized that I've got to start every class with a little speech about expectations. And so here it is. I love to teach and I'm passionate about instilling the love of learning. Teaching and learning can be a wonderful, creative, and terrific experience, or it could be dreadful, boring, and worse than a trip to the dentist. The difference is whether there's a respectful and kind context or one that's disrespectful. Respectful atmosphere means that one person speaks at a time. It's usually me, the teacher. When one person speaks, the others listen, pay attention, watch the person speaking, take notes, give their best effort, raise their hand when they have a question, and stay focused on the discussion. If it's a student responding, I give the same respect that I asked that they would give to me as a teacher. A disrespectful setting is one where people speak at the same time, students are distracting away from the learning conversation, they don't stay focused and are not prepared and don't give their best effort. I call this disrespectful classroom behavior being a classroom bully. This type of student is not only disrupting a class, they're hijacking a class, and it's dreadful for both the teacher and the student. It becomes a Lord of the Flies type of classroom, and the one in charge is no longer the teacher. In our Zoom classrooms, that's a little bit different. Disruptive behavior is acting goofy in front of the camera to be distracting, be funny, or private chats, distracting others from the learning context. I will always plan to stop and ask for questions. When you have a question, please work to learn to write it down, but don't speak up with it when you have that question. Typically, I'll stop and take questions, but until I stop for them, I'm not going to stop and to answer a question. Don't misunderstand me. I want the dialogue. I want to make myself clear, but often I'm working through explaining a point. And in fact, I might be intentionally creating some personal confusion as I stir up the questions I want to have us work through. If I have a situation where this disruptive behavior happens, I'll do the following steps. One, I'll warn you and maybe simply send you a text saying, please focus. 2, I'll warn you a second time. If I've warned you a second time, then 3 happens, which means I'm going to push you out of the classroom for a few minutes and I'm going to follow up with your parents and ask for their help and let them know that we're having an issue about being respectful in the classroom. After covering the topic and the lesson for the class, I frame discussion together. It's called a Socratic kind of learning opportunity, and I love it. I'll expect students to raise their hand electronically, call on students to answer, and I'll unmute you to answer. I'm always open to discuss questions outside of class and want to build a learning partnership to help each student and parent. I'm happy to schedule a call or a Zoom appointment together. Let me finally say, I think being a boring teacher is both a weird oxymoron and a sin. To be a teacher, the last thing that should happen is that it should be boring or it shouldn't be enjoyable. I work very hard to make lessons relevant, interesting, and valuable. Hey, thanks for taking a few minutes to listen to my expectations, and I look forward to meeting you in class. Thanks.